Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
Hey, Bruce Hutchin here with Whitetail Rendezvous, visiting with SLASH Arrows, and I'm Mr. David Hand, the originator, the owner, the CEO. So what are you talking about here at ATA 2019?
We're talking a lot about the success of it. I mean, we came up with owners who have made shots where they've actually seen the animal drop. I mean, a lot of shots that make them drop. So we talk about spine and front of center and proper weight for a whitetail deer or an elk. We've got to cover.
How about dangerous game? Do you go to Africa with them?
Yes. So we've got the 16th largest stag in the world has been shot with the arrow. This is the Express arrow, which is blue. It's a little lighter. It's about 11 grains per inch series. We make a Magnum arrow, which is about 70 grains heavier, which is for big game. A little thicker blades, a little bit bigger cut. And you can also put any broadhead you want on it. You could probably put a little bit bigger broadhead for bigger game, with a little heavier arrow.
Interviewed broadheads, and they came out with a Cape Buffalo broadhead.
To effectively get a pass through on a whitetail, if you hit bone or there's a bad shot, it takes a couple of 100 grains up front. But the big difference is, instead of putting it all on the tip of the arrow, let's put it 4 or 5 inches across the arrow so we get better flight. That's what it's all about, is better flight and a heavier arrow.
When you sit here and say, gee, that's great, how do I get a hold of SLASH Arrows? How do we do that?
SLASHarrows.com. Pretty simple. Just SLASHarrows.com.
On Instagram or
Instagram, Facebook, web, we're out there.
SLASH Arrows.
SLASH Arrows.
So if a person buys your arrow for the first time, what do you want them to take away from this interview?
I think the takeaway that I have for everybody is there's a tremendous amount of hunters out there that are pulling lighter poundage, 50, 55, or 60 pounds. Some of them are shorter draw. The only advantage you have, if you're low poundage and short draw, you have to have a good weighted arrow to maintain momentum. So a lot of folks think that these arrows are only for high poundage and long draw and big game. No, they work just as effectively at 40 or 50 pounds as they do 70. So check it out, SLASHarrows.com.
Now, how about for the crossbow hunter?
The crossbow hunting has absolutely gone to scale. We've sold more crossbows in the last 2 years. It's a wonderful, wonderful weapon for a crossbow.
Okay, same setup.
Same setup. Same, it shoots just as flat as any other crossbow. They're great for crossbows.
Yeah, I was talking to a broadhead maker today here at ATA, and he had crossbow on the package. I said, what's the difference? He says, there isn't any. For his broadheads, they're exactly the same, but people want to say, this broadhead is made for crossbow.
They do. And here is the crossbow version. And you'll notice it's fully integrated, so this can slide down the rail. It's got a little bit of a friction lock to it, but a lot larger and thicker blades are coming out inside the animal. Great penetration, good momentum. And we've done our homework here. It's a great.
So how does that go down the rail?
This is perfectly flat. So it slides, this is perfectly flat through here. So it sits about right here. So it slides right down the rail, just like a regular crossbow.
That's interesting, folks. You're hearing some really neat technology, and technology helps drive the archery business. And Mr. Hand has come up with some really great ideas, and he's got hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers.
We've got lots of proof of it. It's been really good.
Hi folks, this is Bruce Hutchin. Yes, you can guess where I am. This is ATA 2019. I'm sitting at the Plano Synergy booth, and I'm going to talk to Andrew Bumbach, and we're going to talk about Ameristep. Andrew, first tell me about Plano Synergy.
Yeah, so we're here in the Plano Synergy booth, ATA 2019. Super happy to be here. We're specifically in the Ameristep section going to talk about some ground blinds today. Ameristep is one of the brands within our portfolio in the Plano Synergy family of brands. We own several more, including Barnett Crossbows, Wild Game Innovations, Plano Molding, so quite a bit in our portfolio. But here today we're going to talk about a couple things about our new ground blinds for this year.
So what's so special about Ameristep? I mean, I don't know, you can count them on your hand how many other pop-up blinds there are in the house here.
Absolutely, yeah. Ameristep is just one of those names that just resonates really well with consumers and rings a bell with a lot of people. Ameristep is one of the oldest and original ones in the ground blind market, known for great durable products that last consumers a long time, which is what they love. So when they know they're going to invest in an Ameristep blind, they know it's going to last them. They can cross the line. It's just great innovation every year. You know, Ameristep continues to push the boundaries. As you say, it's just a ground blind. How can we continue to make it more innovative? But Ameristep continues to put some things out there that helps consumers and help them be more successful whitetail hunters in the end. So that's what it's kind of about. I've hunted out Ameristep blinds as long as I can remember. They're just great, durable pieces of equipment and great for season after season use.
Now that blind over there, let's kind of walk over here to to your right.
Yeah.
Now that's got a little peak to it. What's up with that?
Yeah, so you'll notice on all the blinds behind me, we'll talk about this one specifically behind me in a second, but this was a blind that was launched last year called the Distorter Force. It's available in 2 camo patterns, one in Mossy Oak Breakup Country and the other in Realtree Edge. You asked specifically about the peak, which is the most notable feature on these blinds. Each, both the 3 sides of the blind adjacent from the back window, which is this side, and then the peaks all have an extended hub that reach outward. What that is whenever you're inside the blind, typically if you're in a typical square footprint blind, it can get constrained with space. With the extra hub, called our kick-out hub technology, it enables you to have much more room to put a vertical bow on a stand, or maybe a pack on this side, or even guys that self-film or film with a friend in the blind, they can put that tripod leg in there and it creates a lot more room. Each of the bases also have a net, which acts like a shelf, so great for putting down a grunt call or a rangefinder or a set of binoculars. So quick, easy to access, grab right there from your chair. You don't have to worry about storage or laying something directly on the ground. Each of the kick-out areas is covered in canvas too, so it's got that great durable material. You don't have to worry about scuffing it, kicking it up.
I use Ameristep blinds, and they're not paying me to say this, but I use them. I've got 2 of them, and they all have rest, integrated rest. It's
Yep.
just a piece of plastic and everything, but it came with the blind, so it fits right on the rods,
yeah.
up rods, and I put my crossbow and my rifle on those.
There you go.
But that's a little different from Ameristep from somebody else down the street.
Right. So, and you asked specifically about the peak and the roof. Obviously, with the ATA show, so a lot of archers here, but great opportunity for seated blind shots. A lot of guys always run into trouble. You talk to Lee and Tiff or Don and Candy who hunt out some of our blinds. That draw, it's tough. If you've got a tall vertical bow, you know how some of these really tall vertical bows now have high cams, so it's kind of tough. You want to make sure that you're not touching any of the blind fabric or anything whenever you're getting ready to take the shot, because that could be the difference of a great flight of the arrow or not. So that extra space, not only the standing room, but again, the seated draw, to have that extra space helps a ton. So that's a great feature in all 3 of these blinds.
Say, if somebody wants to reach out and get a hold of Ameristep, how do they do that?
Best way to get us is Ameristep.com. It's got all of our new products that we're launching this week, including legacy products like this distorter you see right here behind me. Great info as far as videos, feature benefits, all that. So please check us out on the web. Also, obviously our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those places are great resources to find out more info.
Now, what advice would you give to somebody that just bought a brand new Ameristep blind, they're taking it out of the bag for the first time? What would you recommend?
The most notable thing that I love about our blinds is most of them are based on a hub style frame, which is super easy installation. The first thing you want to do, take it out and let it air out. So open the hubs up, and before you take it directly in the field, scent elimination is a huge deal. But let it get acclimated, one, and then if you are planning to hunt out of that blind, make sure you set it up plenty of time in advance. That's a well-known thing, but let the animals get used to it. It's their home. They recognize when things have changed. So if you're going to go put it in the field and then brush it in, make sure you do it well before your hunt. Otherwise, you have the opportunity to spook game out of your hunting area. So set it out early as soon as you get it. Let it get acclimated to the weather so that it smells like outside, and then make sure you give it ample time before you're ready to go hunt it, whether it be early archery season. Make sure you set it up way in advance of opener, or even rifle late season. The other thing, too, is if you are planning on hunting out of them, they are durable enough to stay out all season long, but as far as longevity, it helps the blind tremendously if you take it down, if you're not planning to hunt or if you're going to face some inclement weather for several weeks in a row. You want to make sure that you're going to take it down and then rebrush it in. It'll just help in the long term for the longevity of the blind. That's the same case in all. But and then especially in the off season, springtime comes and you're done with your fall deer hunting, take it down. It doesn't hurt to give it a good cleaning, so sweep the inside, get spider webs and stuff on the inside. So that's something to think about too.
No, one thing that I've known is that, and you said it, Andy said it, is that don't pop your blind up and hunt it the same day. Don't hunt it the same week. My recommendation, let at least a week go by.
Yep.
Make sure you brush it in. I see so many people's blind, they just pop it up and say, well, it's camouflaged, and they don't brush it in.
And there's lots of schools of thought on that. Everybody's got their own opinion, right? So I know guys that hunt in the middle of the field with a pop-up blind with zero brushing and have great success. It's all depending on what you want. Obviously, the blinds are camouflaged, and some of our technology, edge relief and stuff, already help with that, so you don't have to worry about it looking like a big block out there. But yeah, personal opinion, take it out early, get it brushed in fully. Ameristep comes with a lot of functional feature benefits on the outside of the blind to tuck in brush, tuck in leaves, sticks, branches, and just get it as organic looking as possible. The other thing that I mentioned with these kickouts earlier is with traditional blinds, they're essentially a big cube. So with having a little bit more of an organic shape with the floor kickouts and the roof kickouts, it helped just add a little bit more of an organic structure, I guess, rather than just a big cube in the woods being a dark blob. So another benefit that's great with those blinds.
Well, that's great insight. Andy, anything else you'd like to add before we close this segment of Facebook Live?
No, that is a more premium blind if that's not something you're in the market for. We did launch this year at 2019 a Caretaker kickout. So this is based on one of our best-selling blinds, which is a Caretaker hub-style blind. Great option for a mid-price point. We introduced that same kickout technology into some of the sides of this blind for this year. So it's a great mid-price point option that adds the feature benefits of some of the extended floor space on the inside at a price point that's a little more budget-friendly. So check that out at our website. Again, Ameristep.com for any other info that you need.
On behalf of Whitetail Rendezvous, thank you, Andy, for sharing all about Ameristep blinds.
Thank you.
Hey folks, yes, we are live again, and I think this is the last interview for me. This is Plano Synergy live from ATA 2019, and that's one of my favorite places. Why? Because in this guy's opinion, there's a lot of optic companies out there. I own a number of different companies' optics, but guess what? Vortex, for everything considered, is one of the best brands, if not the best brand you should consider to get. I'm in with Mr. Mike Tussle, and by the way, say hello to Mike because it's his birthday. He's birthday today, and he's working. Go figure. But Mike, while we got you here, what's so special about Vortex?
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to come on here with you. Yeah, no, Vortex, it's a brand I've always loved. Just the culture of Vortex has always been take care of the customer. You know, that's our goal every single day. I think that's what sets us apart, is we do whatever it takes to make sure the customer's happy, make sure they're successful in the field. So that's just what we strive for every day.
And folks, I'm gonna give a testimony about it at the end, exactly what he's talking about, because I lived that hands down, and we'll get to that. So what's special now today, 2019 ATA Vortex?
Yeah, our new products that we're showing off here today. We have a brand new version of our Fury range-finding binoculars. These go out to 5,000 yards on reflective targets. We're getting soft targets out to 16, almost to 2,000 yard ranges. It does do decimal yardage, so partial yards, down to the tenths of a yard. Just a great option, nice upgrade to these. Price did not change, still MSRP at $1,600, just like the old version did. So we're really excited there.
One thing, don't go off that so far. So I had a set field tested for me.
Yeah.
In New Mexico, El County, and I said, hey, Dan, take these and field test them and give them back to me when you're done. So he's in town, and they had lichens. So when you go on the, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So you go on the animal and you push it down, and then it gives you the yardage.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. With Vortex, push it down and then you move it, and you get the moving yardage.
Yep. If you hold down that button, it goes into a scan mode, and it will continuously update that range. Yep. And it's very fast.
Okay. So folks, prove me right, prove me wrong. Reach out to me at whitetailrondezvous@gmail.com. Hey, I'll listen. But I believe that's unique in the industry. Is it, Mike?
And that I'm not sure on. I mean, there may be some other ones that have a scan function. I think this one is probably faster than any of the others I've seen, though. So it is continuously updating that yardage.
So if that bull's running away from you, running towards you, that pig, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
If you're on target, you can keep it pressed down, and it'll give you can read it out, especially if you're reading it out for your buddy who's set up for a shot.
Exactly.
He's turned, the angle's wrong, you can just read out the yardage.
Yes, and the other nice part about the scan is that when you go to press down a button, a lot of times you'll move the entire binocular or rangefinder. By holding the button down, you can be a lot more steady as well. So getting those ranges at the farther yardages is a lot easier when you're in scan mode.
So just check one for Vortex out. What's the next thing you got?
Yeah, the next product that we're showing off today is our brand new Pro rings. So these, another product we're very excited about, especially on our tech support team. So they're going to be replacing our old version of the Pro rings. They're going to stay the same price. They're still going to be in that $55 to $60 range, depending on if you're looking at a 1-inch or the 30mm version. They come, all of the inch-pound ranges that we recommend, actually engraved right on the ring. The quality is extremely good for the price point of these these rings. So we're really, really excited about these. A lot of questions that we receive as tech support are scopes that don't hold zero, don't track. Usually it's because of improperly mounted rings or scope, using your rings that can be over-tightened, and that will cause that issue. So these rings, I think, will solve a lot of those problems. The next product, I've got a ranging reticle eyepiece. This is a product that we've been working on for some time, ever since we released our new Razor spotting scopes. This will fit the 85mm spotting scope in the Razor line. Makes the scope a fixed 22x magnification. It has the ranging reticle in it for measuring targets. This ring spins the reticle inside, while this ring is a focus for the reticle. So it's a nice little option.
So it's 22 power.
22 power.
Fixed.
Yep. Fixed. Yeah.
But now I have a rangefinder. Out to what?
And it's a reticle, so you can measure targets using it, and then use that to range using a mathematical formula. Or you can call for shots if you've got someone shooting, and they're, depending on where they're hitting or missing, you can call where their shots are hitting and how far off they are.
Now, does it have mil dots?
It will have mil hashes, either in mil or MOA. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, and then the last option is an update to our Razor Gen 2 rifle scopes. We put in some new reticles in these. We've been asked for several different options in these scopes for some time. The first being the Horus reticles. So we have put the Horus H59 as well as the Horus Tremor 3 reticle in these scopes. Those two options will still retail for MSRP at $3,400. You should find them at retailers right around the $2,500 price point. We also added our own reticle into one of these, and it's our EBR-7C. Brand new reticle for us. It's similar to what we had in our Razor AMG with the center floating dot as well as 2/10 windage marks, in addition to the half mil windage marks in the mil version. And it also has the numbers down the outside of the windage dot tree underneath the reticle. So that's the one difference between it and the AMG reticle. But this is one that we get asked for a lot as far as competition rifle shooters. So this is one that I've personally been testing for the last few months. Absolutely love this reticle. Looking forward to getting this into the hands of a lot more people. The version with our own reticle is going to come in about $500 less than the Horus reticles. It's going to have an MSRP of $29.99 and should retail right around that $2,000 price point.
Hey, how do people get a hold of Vortex?
Yeah.
They want to buy some of this gear. What do they have to do?
Yeah, you can jump on our website. We have a lot of contact info on there, vortexoptics.com. Hit us up on any of the social media platforms. Just search Vortex Optics. You should be able to find us real easy. Or you can give us a call 800-426-0048. Hit up our tech team if you want any recommendations. We're extension 5, or just email us at info@vortexoptics.com.
And folks, at the beginning of the show, the segment of Whitetail Rendezvous at ATA 2019, I mentioned I got a testimonial, unpaid. What happened, I was sheep hunting in 2016 in Colorado, and I was near Buena Vista, Colorado, and my HD Razor fell over. Boom. Wind, whatever. User error, doesn't matter, it fell over. And broke the tripod, so it took a header. It was not pretty. I go, holy right, because I need long glass for cheap. So I go, what are we going to do? Okay, bail off the mount, get down, and then we get cell service. I called Vortex right away. It was in, let's call it the afternoon. They said, get to FedEx, get it in a box, and we'll have it back to you in 2 days. And I said, really? And so I went down to Buena Vista, found FedEx, put it in a box, paid it, ship it out, and 2 days later I went back and they delivered it to my buddy's place, and it was there, and I was flat blown away. It was 100%. It was 100% ready to go. We went back up in the mountain, started glassing sheep, that night. So, folks, they stood behind their product. Did the winds blow? The gods blew the thing over. It doesn't matter. The warranty was the warranty, and I made the phone call to one guy and said, "Bruce, it's not a problem. Here's your number. Just put that on it. Put it where you want us to ship it back, and we'll FedEx it back to you." So, folks, it doesn't get any better than that. Plus, the glass works.
It's our pleasure. We enjoy being able to help customers and give them the peace of mind that if anything were to happen, we're going to get it taken care of. So
and that's it's not unheard of. But I mean, you're sheep hunting, which is a hard type to get anyway. And for them to just turn around, boom, don't even worry about it, get her done, and you get her done. So thanks so much.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.